All right. So good afternoon. My name is Erica and I'm with Peaceworks. Our organization does public education and advocacy around multiple issues, including climate change. We do not endorse or oppose candidates for office, but we do inform our members, supporters, and the public at large as to where candidates stand on issues that concern us. We've invited all the candidates running for the Boone County Commission or state legislator seats in Boone County who are in contested races to address questions we've shared with them in advance regarding climate change and climate action. We are limiting each interview to a maximum of 10 minutes. I'm here today with Jacque Sample, who is running for election to become a Missouri State Representative of the 44th District. We appreciate her taking the time to respond and thus to make her views known. I will be asking the questions we've shared previously and only doing follow-up if it seems that it will be helpful to clarify a response. Hi, Jacque, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let us begin with question number 1. So do you accept the scientific consensus that climate change is real, human-caused, and happening now? In your opinion, is human-caused climate change a serious concern? And if elected, would you make addressing the climate crisis a top-tier concern?
So this is a really easy question. Yes and yes.
All righty. Number 2, what specific policy initiatives would you pursue to address climate change on the state level?
So on the state level, I really think we do need to look into the carbon emission tax that's been discussed regarding our industry partners within the state. In addition, though, one of the areas I'm very passionate about is education, and I would really, well, number one, to see education cuts stopping, but in addition to that, having additional education funds made available to develop and research alternative forms of energy. That is how we are going to make lasting change. Even though it will be gradual, we have to start somewhere. And we have wonderful universities across the state of Missouri who have brilliant people working and have the knowledge to be able to make this happen. We just have to invest in it.
Okay, and number 3, what do you see as the greatest obstacles to enacting and implementing the policies you see as needed? How would you address these obstacles?
Well, as in most things, I have found one of the most difficult obstacles is human nature. And I say that because people are very, at some points, verbal about how things need to be different and change. But when you actually then present a way to change, there's resistance and pushback. And so humans are actually quite against doing things differently. It's scary. They're just resistant to it. And so that really is the biggest obstacle, I think, is working with the people of our state, being transparent about the processes, involving them in the processes, providing the education on, this is what this would look like, and this is how it would impact you. What is your input? What is your feedback? Those types of things. The more input we can get from the people who we are trying to impact their lives positively, the more engagement we will have, the more sense of control they will have, and hopefully the more resistant, or the less resistance, I should say, to change would be present.
Alrighty, and then number 4, would you favor Missouri adopting a climate action and adaptation plan? And if so, would you take the initiative to propose this moving forward?
I would definitely support it, and I would love to take an initiative. Nothing is going to happen if we don't have a plan and if we don't have very specifically outlined goals and benchmarks. I've spent 20 years as an OT doing that exact thing, writing treatment plans, having benchmarks, doing reporting, seeing what's working, what's not, and then changing based on that. So we have to have a plan. We have to have benchmarks. We have to have a timeline. And we have to be open to then tweaking those as new evidence or hopefully new technologies become available. But I am all for planning and program development. That is something that I actually really enjoy. And so that would be something I'd be fully on board with.
Alrighty, and then the last question, are there any other thoughts you have regarding addressing climate change that you'd like to share with voters?
I just don't want people to, number one, my wish is that people don't make, and it's too late, but people don't make it a political topic, that it's one party versus another party. It is not. This is everything we talk about, climate change included, impacts everyone. And the sooner we can all get on the same page with that, the better off we will all be. And the more quickly we can begin to positively impact our environment. Additionally, I think we really need to look at what the tools we already have in place. So we've talked about, developing a plan and setting goals. We already have so many organizations, some grassroots, some private, some little communities, and some state, institutions like DNR and the Conservation Department that already have programs in place. And we need to see how we can incorporate what we already have up and running and make it better, and use the resources we have in place to expand into more of the climate change issue. And then, like I said, pulling in our universities and the education funding. And that way we're letting the people who we have hired to share their knowledge teach the students who will be the future implementers of the technologies that will positively impact climate change. So it's all connected. We just have to have the people in office who will make those connections.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming out and making your views known and everything. And good luck in the next couple weeks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.